back to using the webcam because my camera's battery is low, and that has a 25-minute time limit on it with the memory card that I have. Here, I don't have a time limit. I can go as long as I want, and the webcam is on my computer, so pretty much I can record as long as I want. And the quality right now is okay, so stop fucking complaining. So, we have here, this is going to be a more serious NXT video, and pretty much talking about the Bryan Danielson release. There's more details that have come out now as to why he's been released, as to why this all happened. I mean, I thought it was a work at first. I thought this was going to be part of the storyline of pretty much Daniel Bryan tampered with the site and that he wants to change his name to Bryan Danielson. But then it was made note that the thing said Daniel Bryan, in parentheses, Bryan Danielson, has been released. And, like I said, I thought it was a work. And then reading more reports on it, now I'm even more angry than I was before. Because before it was more along the lines of, okay, this makes sense. Then it was like, okay, it's a work, but why is this a work? I mean, are you just going to swerve the fans for the sake of it? Then I hear the reason as to why this whole thing went about. And that is because the whole thing with Daniel Bryan choking Justin Roberts with his own tie is what caused WWE to go on a limb and firing him. There's been so many rumors. There's been so many rumors flying that WWE felt it was too violent. I don't think it was WWE because, again, I agree with Meltzer on this. If it was WWE, if Vince really felt that that was bad, he would have not just fired Daniel Bryan, he would have fired the camera guy, and he would have fired whoever in the back of the studio that went into that camera mode. That's what would have happened. That's not what happened. Only Bryan Danielson has been released. And not only that, it took them 4 days to come to that realization that we gotta fire him. Because remember, the incident happened Monday, and his release wasn't announced until Friday. So pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, you had a total of 4 days. If this was an account of Vince McMahon, he would have fired him the next day. The next day. I mean, remember Kennedy? He pretty much got fired either the next day or the day after. And after the incident with him and Randy Orton. That's what happened. So I don't buy the whole freaking Vince McMahon was pissed off at him. There's been rumors that it's somebody outside of the company that's important to the WWE. I guess it would be a TV network person. I don't know. But apparently they got offended. And they wanted something done, and Bryan Danielson was just a scapegoat just to please whoever it was that got offended by this. To that I say, did that person watch the whole entire freaking video? Or did he watch the whole entire angle being played? Because, quite frankly, the whole fucking angle was violent in and of itself. The whole thing was violent. The fact that Darren Young was smashing up the barricade. The fact that freaking Skip Sheffield pushed the table and destroyed it. The fact that they pretty much mutilated John Cena. Just freaking killed the shit out of John Cena. John Cena was destroyed throughout that whole thing. And yet, choking a man with his tie to make the angle more serious, to make it a big angle, is what's going to kill this whole thing. Now, I know some people thought that Daniel Bryan's release was actually due to the fact that he spit in Cena's face and kicked him. I don't know where people got this conclusion from. To me, it was more along the lines of a tease that they were going to have a Bryan Danielson-John Cena feud, seeing as, well, Bryan Danielson was the top guy in Ring of Honor, and John Cena is the top guy in WWE. Bring them two together, and pretty much they've been teasing Bryan Danielson to really just break the mold for small guys. That's how they've been doing it, and now that's pretty much just fucked up. They pretty much just fucked up whatever program he was having with Michael Cole. They pretty much fucked up the whole thing of small guys rebelling against the big guys unless they want to replace it with Loki or Evan Bourne. And my main issue with this, and probably people are going to disagree with me on this, but I really feel this way. Releasing any of the NXT rookies right in the middle of this angle is what screws it up a bit. I feel this way. I really do, especially with someone like Bryan Danielson. There have been arguments, well, Wade Barrett is the leader. Just because Wade Barrett is a leader does not mean that the other freaking participants in this group does not share a significance to it. Wade Barrett's the leader. Bryan Danielson's pretty much the small guy that's pretty much trying to fight the prejudice of the big guys. Michael Tarver is pretty much in the same boat, that he's being held back. David Otunga is the celebrity of the group that could pretty much give them celebrity status. So that's 4. Darren Young's the outrageous one, the one with pretty much, I guess, the personality of the group. Skip Sheffield, you can argue, is the powerhouse. Justin Gabriel's the high flyer, and Heath Slater's the good-looking one. So they pretty much have something noted to them, whether it be they're being held back, like a very significant thing, or something that makes them an individual in the group. They all have something, and if you remove one, you pretty much crippled it. Especially if you cripple the one guy that was going to pretty much be the other front leader of this group along with Wade Barrett. You pretty much fucked that up. And what gets me is that, really, if this is a work just to swerve the fans, why not just have the WWE site release all 8, or announce they've released all 8 of these guys, saying that they're all gone? That's if this is a work, which I highly doubt it is. It is a work. I think it's real. And again, you just crippled the angle by releasing one of the bigger guys. And so now you're going to have to come up with an explanation for it. And your explanation's probably not going to be good. You can probably say something along the lines of he was fired, which wouldn't make sense because you could just fire the other 7 guys. You could say he got injured, but really, what did he get injured from? That wouldn't make any sense. Oh, he got injured because he kicked Cena in the head. He was walking fine just earlier. Or you could just not make mention of it at all and just have everybody confused on where the hell Bryan Danielson is. I have no fucking clue. This makes no fucking sense whatsoever that Bryan Danielson's released. You pretty much just crippled the NXT angle, in my opinion. Many people probably don't think that way, but I do. I really do. Especially if you release one of the main guys of that angle. And pretty much the main guy that you were going to have feud with Cena in some time in the future. I don't fucking know. I really don't. I hope to God that this is a work. It'll suck if it's a work. But hey, at least I know for a fact they didn't release Bryan Danielson. But you know what? I strongly believe this isn't a work because... And you want to know what the worst thing about this is? Is that pretty much you're giving the lemmings, the freaking people who believe that PG is what's making this product bad, you're pretty much just giving them more ammunition, more justified ammunition. If you think that choking someone with their own tie is too violent, you're giving them more ammunition. I mean, you already give them more ammunition due to the fact that you want no more blood and you don't want chair shots to the head. I can understand the chair shots to the head thing, but the blood thing is what baffles me. You don't want people to blood the hard way, fine, but don't have the fucking Texas Wrestling Commission fucking clear up the blood, alright? You are just adding more arguments to the lemmings. And some of these people who argue this I actually like as people. But really, you're just giving them more argument to say that PG is the problem with WWE. Wow. Choking someone with their own tie is what got Bryan Danielson released. That's fucking stupid and asinine. Whoever was the guy that freaking threatened Vince to freaking do this is a fucking moron, because apparently he did not watch that whole segment. He did not watch the whole segment and see how truly violent the whole segment really was. I mean, the only thing that segment was missing was someone bleeding or someone like really busted open. That's all it was missing. Other than that, it was fucking chaos. It was like a crime scene. Anyways, I've gone on long enough. This video is probably like 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long, God knows how. Maybe I'm off. And anyway, I'm out.